All right, so welcome back to the next episode that we got here. I want to show you how to set up your cultivator. But under the inspection that I just put on Bob's new cultivator is that the old one used to have a depth gauge on it, and this one unfortunately does not have a depth gauge on it. So what I would tell you is that if you do have a depth gauge on your cultivator or rototiller, whatever you're going to use, try to set it at about 2 inches. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're cultivating for the first time in an area that you don't know what kind of roots that you're going to come across, you don't know what's underneath your soil. Hopefully you've done an inspection before, but just to be safe, do that first 2 inches around your plot, and then take a look. If you didn't get anything else in the way or anything like that, you can go down to 4 inches, and then ultimately I'm just going to bury this thing. So one of the things is that you've got these tines here. When you're working around and you've got a jam or anything like that, make sure that you disconnect it from the electrical, because you don't want this thing going off accidentally, because these tines will tear you up. Ask me how I know. And just be really careful with any type of power tool that you're using, and just be really mindful of it. Wear yourself some safety glasses, get yourself a mask, and just make sure that everything that you do is incremental. So don't go down all the way the first time, 2 inches, 4 inches, then bury it. If you feel like you want to bury it and go down 6 inches, we're gonna bury this thing down eventually all the way down to get a good 6-inch till, and then I'll probably go down a little bit more with a shovel and things like that, so I can actually do a little bit of prepping underneath there with some other compost and stuff that I'm going to be adding some amendments. So let's make sure whenever you're working on this is an electrical appliance, so make sure that when you're working on it, make sure that you have this disconnected. So I'm going to connect it now, and because this is a corded electrical appliance here, what you want to do is you want to make sure that cord doesn't get in the way of your cultivator, or you're just going to have a big mess on your hands, and you don't want that. So I'll fire this up one time so you guys can hear what it sounds like. Pretty loud. Couple more safety things. This thing will crawl on you. If you do not have control of it, and you don't have good control of it, it will crawl you across your bed. Try not to let that do that. If it does that, just let go of the handle or let go of the trigger, things like that. It'll stop. Don't worry about it. If you get a snag or anything, make sure you make it stop. Disconnect it from your power, and then you can go ahead and you can address anything that's down here and take it out. That's where metal comes, the metal pliers and stuff like come into play, because you might need to get some of that stuff out. Some of your stringy materials like grasses and stuff might get lodged in there. So you just want to make sure that you just kind of keep that as clean as possible. But I'm going to go ahead and till this up, and the next portion that you're going to see is this all tilled up, and I'll show you what I do to get this to get the amendments in there and everything. Okay, see you then.